Hello, hello Internet. Welcome back to Pike. Once again playing Sherlock Holmes. Why is this window not going away? I read it. Oh, maybe because I have to try it, otherwise it's not going to... Running? R? Point and click? Indeed, you have to do everything in the tutorial, otherwise you do not progress. To move the character just left, click on the destination you want to reach. To run in the desired direction, double click somewhere. To switch back to the third person view, press R again. To make a character move faster, press and hold left shift. I did. Look, I'm running. By pressing space, you activate Sherlock Holmes' sixth sense. It will show you a hint not discovered yet. Oh, ooh. Oh, over there. I have a sixth sense that's so un-Sherlock Holmesian. You can now search for further clues in the room.
The fire started here, just beneath the bell pull.
Whoever pulled the cord would have had his feet in the fire, unless it was pulled before the fire started.
Oh, no. No. How about... entirely different theory. The thief stole the necklace and then used the fire, started a little fire, and had some kind of device that pulled the bell pull once the fire, I don't know, burned something, piece of string, something like that. And then the bell was rung. But that would actually get our main suspect, the Marquis, off the hook. Because this bell pull, let's face it, goes to the bell, obviously. It's a rope that goes through a whole network until it reaches the bell, which is probably somewhere, I don't know, the kitchen, the servants' room. Because that's where, the main kitchen, that's where the servants are. You ring the bell, they know you rang, they come up. Usually there are several bells, and by the tone of the bell they know which room to go to ask what the master desires. But of course, you could pull that bell from anywhere else. All you had to do is, know where it is, and then you just remove a piece of paneling and pull. You wouldn't necessarily need to pull it from here. And being a member of the household, of course, he would have had ample time and access to do that.
Footprints! You are not going to get on your knees to examine them?
There is no need. It is soot. The servants must have trodden in it while they were putting out the fire.
Which would explain why they never stepped on the rug. They know its worth and would never want to be blamed for such a thing. So.
Heading towards his chosen escape route, probably the window, the thief knocked over the stool, which then caught fire.
But why didn't he try to put the fire out at once?
He knocked over a stool. Ah. Really? By accident?
Strange. There are some objects here that have been knocked over.
What we got here?
A candle. It must have fallen from the chandelier.
What? Indeed, there is one missing. Now, I would proclaim Watson to be, I don't know, about 5'2". So this chandelier is... Well, Sherlock Holmes is about 6 feet, I guess. Close to 5'9", maybe. So this chandelier is about 7 feet in the air at the most. Our tiny, delicate person with tiny hands would never have bumped into it, dislocating the candle. I think I know where the necklace is.
These documents are not very interesting, even though they're addressed to the Minister of Maritime Affairs.
The Marquis himself.
But there are no footprints on the chairs or table. How did the person get up there if she was so tiny? Okay.
Not very well kept, this aquarium. I can see a dead fish floating on the surface.
Don't think that's a clue. This thing, maybe? No.
This draft screen makes an ideal hiding place.
As the theft was committed at night, I conclude that the thief hid himself behind the draft screen and waited until he was alone in the room.
Which would, of course, explain why he did not need a key. And it would also explain why he did not have to break in through the windows. But still, that means it's a friend of the household.
Strange. There aren't any prints. Yet I'm sure that the thief hid here.
Well, if it's a member of the staff, or the Marquis, or his wife, then of course he or she did not wear any shoes, but was on socks, which doesn't leave any footprints as long as you don't step into anything like soot, for example. So I'm not astonished that there are no footprints here, but if she really came here, I mean, okay, let's assume for a moment she rang the bell and accidentally, or not accidentally, knocked the chair into the fire and immediately sprang back. That would mean she would have had clean feet. But how then did she get out? She did not get out through the window, and the door was locked.
When the servants arrived at the door, having been alerted by the bell, they saw evidence of the theft and the fire, but they didn't see the thief.
This door is very hard to force. The Marquis is the only person to have the key. The thief could not get out through here until eventually, when the door was opened by the servants.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, you're already here.
Good morning, Inspector. You've arrived just in time.
Scotland Yard arrives like the cavalry, always in the nick of time. Ah, but I know that satisfied expression, Mr. Holmes. Have you already solved the case?
It's possible.
We have retraced the thief's rather unusual footsteps. He is a true acrobat. But what I cannot understand is that when the servants entered the room, there was no one to be seen. An acrobat, perhaps, but an invisible one? I do not think so.
The only explanation is that the thief escaped before the servants arrived. I don't know how, but there is no other way.
Half a point for the doctor, nil for the inspector.
I am pleased to see that you find the situation amusing, Mr. Holmes. Very well then, explain.
Yeah.
Dr. Watson was correct when he mentioned acrobatics, but he is mistaken about the nature of the acrobat. As for you, Baines, you're quite incorrect, as the thief was in the room when the servants entered.
Explain, for heaven's sake, Mr. Holmes.
It's an animal.
Watson, how could a thief be missed in the middle of 8 men?
I don't know. Because he is very small? Stop teasing us, Holmes.
He was one of them.
Exactly, because he is small.
No.
Small and remarkably agile.
You're thinking of a monkey?
And a trained monkey at that. Without a doubt, a Leontopithecus rosalia from Central America. The animal had been hidden inside the room for several hours, calmly awaiting the signal from his master. Once night had fallen and the room was empty, a high-frequency whistle alerted the monkey that it was time to begin the procedure for which he had been trained. The monkey emerged from his hiding place and used the point of a diamond to open the glass cabinet and steal the necklace. He headed across to the window by the chimney, but knocked over the stool, which in turn knocked aside the fire guard and started the fire. The frightened monkey jumped from the chimney by swinging from the bell pull, thus alerting the house servants. He then went to the window and began to use his diamond to cut a hole, but was interrupted by the staff trying to gain entry via the door, and he panicked again. He ran across the piano, scattering the music scores onto the floor, before hiding inside the chandelier, knocking over a candle. Finally, the servants and the Marquis entered the room, leaving the door open while they put out the fire. It was during the confusion that our agile little thief made his escape through the doorway. As simple as that.
A brilliant explanation! Bravo, Holmes!
And the necklace?
I can see it from here, my friends. It's right in front of us.
In the
We
aquarium.
have searched the room from top to bottom, Holmes. How were we unable to find it?
It's diamonds.
Because we paid insufficient attention to the only victim of this affair.
The
What
fish.
victim? No one is dead?
Yes, Watson, a poor goldfish whose destiny was to die, crushed by one of the most precious necklaces in England.
The aquarium is just beneath the chandelier. I understand.
The little monkey had likely hung the necklace around its neck and lost it when he leapt from the chandelier. The jewels fell into the aquarium, where they remain now.
A monkey. Not bad.
Marquis, here is your necklace, intact, just a little wet.
Mr. Holmes, this brilliant demonstration does credit to your reputation.
Thank you so much, Marquis. Do you wish to verify the authenticity of your jewel?
No, I recognize it. I have spent many hours admiring it, you know.
Good. I will return it to its box and...
Inspector, a bank has just been held up. You must follow me at once. Orders of Scotland Yard.
What times?
Sirs, duty calls. My regards, Marquis. And well done again, Mr. Holmes.
There, the necklace is in its box. We've lost enough time here. Let's go home, Watson.
Ah, very well, as you wish. A good day to you, Marquis.
With pleasure, gentlemen. And once again, thank you.
So that was just a little tutorial, seemingly. Interesting idea. From, I forgot the name. There is a similar case. Not with a monkey, but, some Indian animal that
This
also...
morning's newspaper. Holmes, have you read this article about you?
No, Watson, not yet, and I won't have time to.
Read it before you leave. It's outrageous.
If you insist.
Alright. an article about me. Anyhow, I forgot the case's name. It starts out as a murder case where Commander Barclay is supposedly murdered by his own wife, but the case then shows that he just fell over out of fright, seeing the former lover of his wife, which he had traitorously sent to his death way back in India, where they were both doing service. Forgot the name of the animal, but yeah, something similar. So, alright. Newspaper. Where do we find newspaper? Elementary. It seems you share my love of all that is bizarre. You recovered this Samoan necklace. Well done. Good. This is not available. Where is the newspaper? Oh, there it is. Globe Explorer. Sherlock Holmes at the home of the Marquess of Conyngham. The investigation is a fiasco. Yesterday, the celebrated detective Sherlock Holmes was invited to the manor of the Marquess of Conyngham to supply his conclusions following his investigation into the disappearance of the priceless Samoan necklace. It should be recalled that the lady called in the detective after the police appeared flummoxed in the face of the astonishing circumstances surrounding the theft. Indeed, the valuable piece of jewelry disappeared while the door to the room in which it was displayed was locked. The alarm was raised by the servants, alerted by the room's service bell ringing out during the night. When the Marquis, the only person in possession of the key, opened the door, everyone rushed in to extinguish a fire that had started before it was noticed the necklace had mysteriously vanished. So far so good. The most astonishing fact is that no thief was found within the room and all the exits were closed. As usual, Mr. Holmes resolved the case in the twinkling of an eye and the jewel was recovered. I will not waste my time on the various explanations as to the disappearance because I would prefer to draw your attention, dear readers, to the last surprising developments in the case. Following the departure of Sherlock Holmes, who placed the necklace in the safe himself, the Marquis noticed that the jewel was nothing but a poor copy of the original. Let it not be forgotten that the Samoan necklace, although plain and without ornament, is unique because of the rarity of its pearls. Pearls which are found only in a small part of the lagoon of the archipelago of the same name, and to which scientists attribute their exceptional quality to the strong density of crystal of aragonite that they are made of. Okay, hold it. Hold it. Now, the monkey would of course not have a fake duplicate on him. It was not part of his training to swap, because that would have been totally idiotic. You can't, well, you can't cut open a case with a diamond, take out your object of desire, and then replace it with a fake object, because everybody would notice the hole in the case and immediately check the fake necklace to find out that it's fake. So if there is a fake necklace, then there was a fake necklace in the case to begin with. The priceless necklace, brought here at the beginning of the century by Lord Fenton Arwick, the Marquess's grandfather and an eminent explorer, should have been part of her daughter's dowry for her marriage to the Duke of Newcastle. So I'm going to place a simple question. Should we not, in all open-mindedness, ask ourselves if the necklace was not simply and deliberately exchanged for a fake by Mr. Holmes himself? I am aware, dear readers, that the brutality of this question without any preconceptions may certainly shock some of you, But the facts are there, and our thoughts and judgment should not be confused with the regard which we all share for the famous detective. It is not the first time the Globe Explorer has expressed its reservations as to Sherlock Holmes's methods. Do not forget our counter-investigation into the escape of Arsène Lupin, the Frenchman who took malign pleasure in tarnishing the image of our royal family and who, by lucky chance, managed to elude capture by Mr. Holmes. At the time, we did not hesitate to consider a tacit complicity on the part of the latter. For those who are familiar with Mr. Holmes, it is quite apparent that his character traits show more of the opportunist and brilliant usurper than that of altruistic defender of the law. I would draw the attention of our readers to the suggestion that the description of this gentleman provided by his friend Dr. John Watson through his stories is a long way from the truth. God, indeed his behavior is derisive, contemptuous, haughty, and offensive towards the police, and in particular towards Inspector Baines, replacing Inspector Lestrade, who's currently convalescent, and an habitual abuser of narcotics such as heroin and cocaine. I never take heroin, and cocaine only a 7% solution, please. That is why, dear readers, it is important to disregard Sherlock Holmes's good reputation in order to form an objective opinion, and to ask the pertinent questions: was the necklace that Holmes found already a fake? If that was the case, why did he not mention it? Well, maybe because I didn't notice. And why should he insist on placing it back within the safe himself? Has the detective some unsavory interest in this affair? Or is it a simple case of deceit in order to steal the extraordinary Samoan necklace? No. Everything points to the Marquis himself. He took a good look at the object and actually confirmed that it was the unique article. So someone stole it afterwards out of the safe? Or is it a simple case of deceit in order to steal the extraordinary Samoan necklace? It is up to you, dear readers, to form your own opinions, but you can count upon your humble servant to continue revealing to the public the doubtful methods and motivations of one who in the future I shall not hesitate to call Sherlock Holmes the Usurper, to be a continued O'Farley. Oh, there are more articles?
Prince
I guess
Woodville, French culinary expert and bagpipe player, might be our next king. That's not so shocking, my dear fellow.
You know exactly to which article I'm referring, Holmes. How can Farley dare to tarnish your reputation like that?
You know, Watson, that wherever glory walks, jealousy is bound to follow. As for the forgery of the necklace, I suspect that we shall soon be enlightened in this regard. Come in, Inspector Baines, the door's open.
Oh.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. How did you know I was here?
You are one of our rare visitors who avoids the second-to-last step of the stairs, which creaks dreadfully. And if I add the clinking of the handcuffs at your belt, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit, Inspector?
Have you read that, Rag?
Necklace.
Inspector, I assume that you have the fake necklace with you. It's why you're here. Your superiors would like me to examine it.
Indeed. They would like you to confirm or deny putting this fake in the box.
Can't that wait? I must go to the house of Lord Peregrine Maitland, the Bishop of Knightsbridge.
What is it?
Inspector,
Slander?
can you explain this slander? Has the necklace of the Samoas really been replaced by a fake?
I don't know how the reporter got hold of the information, but it's true. About the necklace, of course. I wouldn't permit myself to question the integrity and honesty of Mr. Holmes.
The necklace is a forgery? Impossible! I saw the Marquis authenticated before my very eyes, before Holmes returned it to its place.
Mr. Holmes, the Marquis believes Osmond Farley's theory. I shouldn't be surprised if the reporter isn't behind all this slander about you. He's a freelancer, well known for his explosive and subjective articles. In any case, the Marquis assures us that you were the last person to have the necklace in your hands.
Let's return to the Marquis's house, Holmes. I'm sure that we'll have no trouble in taking apart this theory.
It is unnecessary. Such allegations collapse on their own, like one of Mrs. Hudson's soufflés. Let us leave the police to solve this problem and turn our attention to the matters in hand.
Perhaps you are right, Holmes.
Oh?
And the Marchioness?
She is beside herself. Without the necklace, her marriage is compromised. It is the principal item of the young woman's dowry.
What a lovely marriage.
Okay.
Holmes, forgive me for insisting, but don't you want to examine the fake jewellery?
Watson, I have an appointment, and it's out of the question that I arrive late.
It will only take you a couple of minutes. You really must quell the suspicions put forward in this appalling article. If you will allow me, Inspector?
Be my guest.
Very well.
So, where's the necklace? There. Find out if the necklace is authentic or not. How? I don't
These
know
three
anything
pearls are of poor quality. These three pearls are of poor quality.
else. I know that. What about these? Okay. No. Hold it. Okay.
This pearl is a different color.
True. So, okay, got this clue.
This pearl is too small. It is not in its place here. Too many defects. This necklace is a fake. This is nothing but a vulgar copy, and at a glance it would appear that the forger has intended for it to be seen as such.
How could we have been fooled by such a blatant imitation? I don't understand.
Yes, how is it possible? Holmes, do you have a theory about this?
I have absolutely no idea. You insisted that I examine the necklace, and I have done so. Now it is important that I keep my appointment. I'm sure, Inspector, that you will throw some light on this affair.
Holmes.
You may accompany me, Watson, if you care to do so.
Goodbye, gentlemen. I'll keep you informed as to my inquiries.
Goodbye, Inspector. You mentioned a bishop, didn't you? Are we going to his home?
Yes, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. I put his address on our map of London on my desk. Would you get it for me, please?
All right, Holmes.
No, he won't. I'm not controlling Dr. Watson now. This episode is already getting too long. I said 20 minutes and now we're past. Sorry. I wonder, though, why Holmes is so seemingly uninterested. I mean, of course the Marquis would favor this theory if he has replaced the original with the forgery after Holmes put it into the safe. Because when he put it into the safe, it obviously was the original, because Holmes would have noticed. So there was a theft after the theft. And of course, I'm quite sure that the safe has no signs of breaking in, otherwise the inspector would have mentioned it. So that leaves the Marquis himself. And he probably paid that journalist for writing the article. In any case, Pike is signing off.